Today's episode's about going green. Hey.
Hi.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about, I guess, going green, but that's not really what it is.
No. Going green is generally considered a good thing.
I guess we should save this one for March.
Yeah, right.
For St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, this is the going green in the bad way.
Right, truth.
Yeah.
We have some algae. One of our tanks had a really bad algae bloom.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like this tank has it quite a bit.
Yeah.
We have one about every 3 or 4 months in this one. We're pretty sure we know why.
Yes.
But
this one belongs to my mother.
Yeah, and she likes to feed the fish.
She does.
Which we'll go over some reasons for algae blooms and some ways to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ways I think we videoed for a second was just putting in a little barley.
Yeah.
What's it called, barley? Did you get it? Got on film.
Yeah, it's barley extract.
Barley extract.
Basically, it's mostly you use barley for when your ponds go green.
Right. Just a quick. Yeah.
It helps clarify the water. It's good for the water. But
when you have true algae bloom.
Yeah, I have learned that you can take the barley comes in 2 ways. It comes in big bales, like straw bales,
which
that
is
you
what
just
throw
in
the pond.
In the pond.
In the pond filter,
and that works fine. And then it also comes in a little liquid concentrate. Now, for an aquarium, you want to use the liquid concentrate. You don't want to float a big.
You don't want to float a bale?
A bale in your
Oh.
aquarium. So I have learned that in a pinch, if it's starting to look a little bit greenish, you can generally throw a little bit of barley in there to clear it up.
And it helps.
But it doesn't
Right.
completely eliminate the situation. It just kind of stalls for time.
Right. And one of the quickest ways, honestly, to get rid of the algae is really dump the water. Draw the water out almost to the end as much as the fish can handle it, like as float as you can go, and then just put clean water in there.
Yeah.
Quickest way.
All right,
there are other ways.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I need to bring up is every tank has algae in it, no matter how.
Right. Algae is not necessarily horrible. It's a good thing, but to some extent.
Yeah. Now, having an algae bloom is not going to kill your fish.
No.
It won't. It's just going to make your tank look yucky. But every tank has some degree of algae in it.
Right, and that's normal.
Yeah.
But when the water turns green.
Yeah, when the water turns green, or there are other kinds of algae too, like the string algae.
Like the string algae that gets, the string algae, which we don't have this tank, but I've had that before.
In the ponds, oh my God, sometimes we get string algae that it just looks like green spaghetti, or hair.
But in this instance, we have, like I said, the barley's good for the ponds. The quickest way, honestly, is to bring the water level down as low as you can and refill it with clean water. Quickest, fastest, and then another thing I always did was I bought some shrimp.
We'll get into that. But when we're talking about like doing regular water changes, that is part of one of the reasons. So let's talk about the reasons why you might get an algae bloom first, because otherwise we're going all over the place like string algae.
We are string algae today. I'm kind of string algae today. It's been a long day.
So reasons why you might get an algae bloom. First one is what we suspect is going on in this tank, and that is overfeeding.
We love you though, Mom.
Yeah, we love you, Mom. But stop overfeeding your fish.
Right.
And that goes for the rest of you guys that are doing it.
Right. Everybody does it sometimes, but especially if you have regular algae blooms in your tank, it's a pretty good indication that you're overfeeding.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons. I mean, that's one. There are other reasons.
Right. Now, another reason might be too overcrowding your fish tank. If you have too many fish, and that's producing a lot of waste, and that's producing a lot of food for your algae. So, if you have an overcrowded tank, that could be a part of the problem as well.
One of the things is light, right? I think sunlight is actually a big light, like lights on your tank or sunlight, either one.
Sunlight. Yeah. If you have your tank,
because I think I had an algae bloom because of the sunlight once. Because I had the tank by a window. They actually recommend not to do that because that will create an algae bloom quick.
Oh yeah.
I had to move my entire tank. Right. So that was something I learned years ago.
And another thing would be like if you keep your aquarium light on all the time. Right. While it won't bother your fish, it will actually
cause
get
an algae
the
bloom.
algae
So about 6 to 8 hours is the maximum you should leave your light on.
Well, I usually mine on for 12. I do 12 on, 12 off.
Okay. I usually do about, I guess it's about right, because I turn it on in the morning at 7, and I usually turn off about 7 or 8 at night. So about 12 hours, I guess, but I think they recommend like 6 to 8. minimum or maximum. But
the point is, don't leave your light on all the time.
Right. Some people just leave it on 24/7. That's not the instance in this particular case where we have video of it. Sorry.
Yeah.
She's gonna hurt us later.
Probably. We're in so much trouble.
Yeah. Because we did videotape her tank to show you. But light is a really common one actually that people don't realize.
Yeah.
It's actually more common than the food one because everybody's had it if they put their if they have the light. Sunlight's the biggest one for me.
Yeah, sunlight's
the most common. I can't even speak. Oh my gosh.
Keeping tanks near windows is usually a bad idea.
Yeah.
Another one is poor circulation in your tank. If you don't have like a bubbler going, or as we have the sponge filters, which helps, but just circulating the water, that helps.
Yeah, it creates algae. Okay. I've never had that issue, but I always have good filters. So
and
filters. We love filters.
Filters are good. And then the final one would be poor tank maintenance. Not doing regular water changes.
Which that's not an issue for us.
Yeah.
Well, maybe for hers, because we don't. And to be perfectly honest, we don't clean her tank as often as we do some of the others.
Yeah.
Only because it's in the living room. It's hard to get to. Well, you'll see on the video
and
how
it's a bunch of small fish.
A bunch of small fish. She has a bunch of baby plecos in there. She's very worried about her baby. She has baby. What's the other fish she has?
Oh God, she's got like 8 or 9 different types.
But she's got the ones that breed, is what I'm saying. There's that type that they breed a lot. There was, I don't know, Mickey Mouse things and other things in there having babies.
A lot of tetras.
So she gets very nervous with us messing with her fish because she doesn't want anything to happen to the babies. So we kind of, I'm going to admit it, I kind of got lazy with it because I was like, I don't want to,
her tank is well balanced as far as we don't have ammonia spikes or anything. It's just,
it's just the algae came in.
We don't change the water on nearly probably as much as we should.
Yeah, we should, like I usually do mine about once every couple weeks. You do these every week. It's just unfortunately it's in an uncomfortable spot, so it's a little bit harder for us to do it. I mean, we literally have to take a hose through the entire house, which means putting away the kittens.
Yeah.
But that's on us. That's really not on her. That's on us.
Yeah.
But that was just some common reasons why there's algae.
Right. So now we can talk about how you can get rid of it.
So I mean, I guess we talked a little bit about common causes.
Yes.
What are some common fixes?
Yeah, now we can talk about how to fix it. Boy, you're all going to love these.
Well, we already kind of talked about one of those, and the quickest way is to do a water change, obviously.
Yeah,
Quickest way to start.
Actually, the quickest way, because water changes are only going to do so much.
Right.
Doing a thorough cleaning on your tank will definitely help.
Right.
But that's not always possible, especially when you're short on time. So frequent water changes.
Right, helps, obviously.
Help a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much. Treat it like you would an ammonia spike and just,
Right, yeah, change it more. In which, again, this is on that tank, it's our fault. I'm not going to blame her completely. That's kind of us. But we'll get there. We'll start doing it on a more positive, more. I can't think of words. I'm not using I need a drink. Time is it? Is it noon yet?
Right.
But anyway, more regular changes is better for it. So we gotta get back on track because we were doing it for a while and then we kind of got lazy. I'm not gonna lie, because just life.
Another thing that people have been using, and I don't have any experience with these whatsoever, but I've heard that UV sanitizers.
Okay, I don't know what that. Yeah, that I don't know. I can't answer that. So if you have any question, if you've ever used a UV sanitizer, we'd love to know about it.
Yeah.
That would be interesting because I don't know about that.
Yeah, I have heard that they keep the water a little bit too sterile.
Okay.
The UV
and I don't know. Yeah, I've never.
But
we'd love to hear about that. That's something we would love to know about. Or if you have any questions about it, we could do a little bit more research. But honestly, I've never used them, so I don't know.
I'm not never used them either, but I understand that they are great with helping with algae.
Okay.
And then let's see. Another way is.
But isn't that too clean then?
Yeah, that's what I would think, is that they're too clean, but that's what I hear.
Okay.
That's why I never...
We'd love to know about that, so if you know, answer that question.
Yeah, that's why I never got one, is because I heard it makes the water a little too clean.
Okay.
And then the other one, and this is very common, is that's getting algae-eating fish.
Okay, all right. Which we do that. We do that.
Yeah, now keep in mind that during a major bloom, your fish are going to get overwhelmed.
Yeah, they are overwhelmed. They do get overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
But it's a nice helping hand once if you do a good water change.
Yes, basically you want to keep your tank very well balanced, and then add some algae eaters just to keep keep the algae levels down to comfortable levels.
Right.
Now, what kind of fish eat algae, you may be asking?
Well,
there are like, several
4 or 5
fish,
that I mean 2 or 3 that I know of easily.
Yeah, there are dozens of fish that eat algae. However, the best ones and the ones that you can find usually at your local pet store.
Okay.
Yeah, because there are some specialty ones.
Right. So I know one of them is shrimp, obviously, because we do that a lot.
Yes.
And I wasn't aware of the one, but I guess it's obviously
we'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay, so shrimp. We'll start with shrimp.
Okay.
Shrimp. The best ones are like the cherry shrimp, or the ghost shrimp, or the amana shrimp.
Okay.
Those are all teeny little things, and the problem is you don't want to get just 1 or 2.
No. Yeah. You got to get a lot.
You need to get a small army.
Yeah.
Now the downside to shrimp is that a lot of fish think shrimp are delicious.
Yes, shrimp. Yes, even the smaller fish will eat the shrimp if they can.
Yeah.
Shrimp don't last long in any of our tanks.
Yeah.
I think we had one shrimp that swam around for like a month
and mocked the ropefish.
Yeah. But the rest died within days. I think even in my tank, I'm pretty sure that the small fish that went after them. Yeah. So you got to get a lot to begin with, and then they're not going to last very long.
Right, unless you've got like a tank full of like neon tetras or something.
No, because even then I don't know why shrimp don't last long. Yeah. I don't know if they die or if they get eaten or they. I don't even know.
Mine get eaten.
Yeah, yours get eaten, but my fish are smaller, so you'd think that they would survive. But I don't have a bunch of dead shrimp, so I'm thinking the little fish, if they die, the fish eat the little pieces. I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, the last time I had a bloom in one of my tanks, I dumped like 80 shrimp in my tank, and they were all eaten by the ropefish within like a day.
Yeah, it wasn't funny, but that was just, well, it was funny to me. To you, we were laughing. We were bad people. But shrimp are great, but you have to buy more. You can't buy 2 or 3 and think that's going to work. We're talking buy 10, 20, depending on the size of your tank.
Right.
I mean,
small army.
Yeah, small army. I mean, I think I had 20 or 25 in mine.
And yours is 55.
In mine, no, I mean back in the house when I had it back years ago.
Okay, so
I want to say I had a 30 gallon, and I want to say I put like 50 shrimp in there, and all I had was tetras.
Yeah.
And a couple of
well, I put 80 in a 75 gallon.
Yeah. And it didn't last long. I mean, literally they disappeared. I just felt like I scooped them out. They just disappeared. Like over. I'm like, did they shrimp ghosted? What the hell is this? But they did help somewhat. And then so that's then there's you said there's 2 other types. Snails.
Neurite snails.
Ew. I'm not a big snail fan. We hate snails.
Yeah, we're not snail fans, but they do eat algae.
Is that the big ones?
No, they're the pretty ones, like the zebra ones and whatnot.
Okay.
They're pretty.
Those are ones you actually buy, not the nasty things that we have?
They're not like the things that come in under plants. You actually go to a pet store and buy these.
On purpose?
Yes, people buy them on purpose.
All right, weirdos. All right, anyway.
They're not quite as prolific of breeders as some of the ones that we deal with.
With our luck, they'd hybrid and then all this... never be able to get rid of them. We're not buying any shrimp. I mean, I'm not buying any snails. I'm not doing it.
It's like, the algae bloom's gone, but now we have a snail explosion.
Yeah, I just can't do it. Yeah. Can't do it. Yeah. But then there's the big snail. I think the bigger snails will probably be better than the little snails, because the little snails just don't seem to do much for us, I don't think.
Then there's bristlenose plecos, which we're very familiar with.
Yes. Those are our jam.
Yeah. Now, bristlenose plecos are the only plecos that we recommend for any type of aquarium, because they only get to be about 6 inches long max, and they do eat a lot of algae. They will
they are literally called algae eaters.
Yes, they will clean your ornaments. They will clean everything.
The problem is, again, they do get overwhelmed. If you have an algae bloom, they cannot keep up with that by themselves. I mean, okay, maybe in your mom's tank with all the babies, because she's got a whole bunch of babies. I don't know.
No, apparently they didn't. Yeah.
Well, I think it was already in full force before she even had them, so they couldn't keep up. But there's little babies in her tank, so
yes. Now, bristlenose plecos are also known as bushy nose plecos.
Right, whichever you want to call them.
So same thing. And then let's see, there's a mollyfish.
There's something else. There's a fish that does too. They said
mollyfish,
which we can't keep alive in this house. Mm-hmm. I even bought some more.
Yes, and the molly death curse happened while you were gone.
I was away for the weekend, and I came back, and I think 3 of them. Mm-hmm. I had 5. 3 of them. I lost one right before I left, so I had 4 left. And I went away, and 2 of them died. Mm-hmm. And then I came back, and the last one died. Yeah. Or no, I actually have 1 in there. There's 1 left. And he's all alone, and I'm not buying any more mollies. I keep saying that, but then I end up buying them because I feel bad because there's one.
Yeah.
And he seems to be okay right this moment, he or she.
See our episode about the molly death curse.
I know, it's horrible. I don't know why they won't live. It's just something about our water or something.
No,
but anyway, they're supposed to help with algae.
Problem that people have. I mean.
Yeah, sometimes.
But apparently they are good at eating algae.
I didn't know that either, but that's nice to know.
Yeah.
If I ever try to get more.
Yeah. No, remember when we did the molly death curse? I looked it up, and that was a common problem.
Yeah, I know, it's just weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, they lost 2 in 2 days, and I lost 1 right before that. But I had them, believe it or not, I had them for like 3 months before I even got sick.
Yeah, but
it's like when they go at once, and there's no reason, there's nothing wrong with the tank. I had just done a water change, there was good levels. I don't know. But anyway, so mollies are good if you want to try. If you can keep mollies alive, unlike me, kind of like plants with me, everything dies.
Right. Now there's one more, and that's the rosy barb.
Okay, I don't.
Rosy barbs.
Okay.
I'm not as familiar with barbs.
Yeah, I've seen barbs, and I've thought about getting them, but I know that they're a semi-aggressive fish, and I don't want them going after my mellow chill fish. So some people say some barbs are okay. I think your mom has a couple of barbs in her tank. Actually,
tiger barbs are the ones that have the worst reputation.
Yeah.
But apparently the rosy barbs are good at eating algae.
Okay, we'll have to remember that. All right.
So that's another one that you'll find at any pet store is the rosy barbs. And they will eat algae. So now we're going to talk about something else that's not quite as common.
Okay.
Now we talk about green water all the time because algae blooms make your water green.
Yeah,
but
it's a dark green kind of.
Yeah, dark green, and you can tell it's kind of,
algae looking.
Algae-ish.
Algae-ish looking. Right. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Now there is another phenomenon. Yes.
Phenomenon. I got that word.
Phenomenon that
You
happens.
still didn't say it right.
I know, right? Okay, there's another thing that can happen.
Phenomenon.
To your tank that makes your water literally turn green. Like literal green water. Like it makes
like a bright green, right?
Yeah, like tidy bowl.
Okay.
And that is actually called green water. And what that is caused by is not algae, but actually free-floating protoplankton.
Okay. I've never seen that outside of an aquarium. And I was just joking
you're talking
with her.
about like a
like an aquarium, like an aquarium, like you go to
a commercial aquarium.
Yeah, right. You go to a commercial aquarium. I've seen it in one or two tanks there, but I've never seen it in like a house tank or any of my tanks or anything.
Right, but apparently it can happen. Okay. And it's
is that common in ponds or is it just in tanks? I don't
From what
know.
I understand, it's more tank than.
Okay, I've never seen it, but I don't want to see it.
Yeah, but
because I don't want free floating. What do they call it? Free floating
protoplankton.
I don't want protoplankton in my tank. So
you have protoplankton.
Don't want any.
Everybody has.
No, don't want them.
In their tank.
I don't want green water tank.
Okay, everybody has a little bit of it.
Fine.
In their tank. It's kind of like algae, but.
Fine.
Now, the thing is that it literally turns the water like lime green or tidy bowl green or whatever.
Do we know what causes it?
It's just the same things. The plankton has too much to eat, they reproduce, and suddenly you get green water. Now, green water is actually easy to take care of, but it's hell on your tank if you have live plants in your tank. And that is you have to black out your tank for 1 or 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about that. Okay, yeah.
And when I say black out your tank, I don't mean turn the lights off. I mean literally covering your tank with like black cloth.
Like no light gets in for a couple of weeks.
Right, for like 1 or 2 weeks.
I think you told me about that.
In order to kill it off.
So changing the water doesn't do it in that one? You have to literally,
literally have to black out your tank. Okay. And if you have plants in your tank, that is going to be hell on them.
Right.
Because plants
maybe pull the plants out beforehand?
Yeah, but they're going to have the plankton on them as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind that. All right.
So
I was hoping.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a common occurrence, but it can
I don't want that to happen because I have my big old Anubis in there. That's not how I say it. What's it called? Anubius. Yeah, I love that.
Anubis is the death god.
Whatever, it's the same thing.
It's not. No. You tell me. Tell me if there's a difference. Underwater plant.
Green, pretty.
Jackal-headed death god of Egypt.
Same thing. Who wins? Same thing.
I say no, it's not the same thing. Although that might explain why your mollies are all dying if you have
I have a jackal-headed god.
You have a jackal-headed death god in your tank.
Oops. Hey, I can say phenomenon.
Truth.
I still can't.
Anubias.
Anubias. Okay, I gotta remember which is which. But anyway, it's a green plant, and I managed to keep it alive, so I'm happy with it because I usually kill plants for some reason. It's the only plant that lives happily in my tank.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's growing really well.
They thrive very well.
Well, not normally for me.
Well, they're slow to reproduce, but they do thrive.
It's like me, slow to reproduce. No, okay. All right. But if you have any questions, comments, likes, subscribe, share, but I would actually like to hear, I'm sure everyone else has had issues like this. I would love to hear some stories. I would love for you to give me some comments on it.
If you have any tricks that we don't know about.
Right, yeah, because everybody does something different. We do the common stuff, but sometimes we do crazy stuff. So if you have any crazy or just different things you do,
I've been known to completely clear out my tank, like move all the fish into a holding tank and completely clean.
Which we have done multiple times.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we get a really bad snail infestation, we do that too.
Same thing too. Yeah.
I've done that twice in my tank since in the last couple of years because I got really bad. Now I've been really lucky lately with my snails. Yeah. I do occasionally, for some weird reason, randomly get one of those. Not the regular snails, the trumpet snails. Yeah, they just appear, like 5 or 6 of them will just appear in my tank.
I have one in my rockfish tank, and I have no idea how it got there because I haven't changed plants
I haven't put any plants in there, I haven't put any rocks in there. I'm like, where do they come from? But
aliens.
It's again, not anything to do with algae bloom, but I just got distracted because snails annoy me. Yeah. But the trumpet snails are the worst ones. But anyway, I don't know where they come from, but like every 3 or 4 months I'll just see 3 or 4 of them, and then I don't see any more for another 3 or 4 months. I don't know where they're coming from. I think she's sticking them in the tank.
No, because I hate them too.
Yeah, I know you do. Because I know we all hate them.
And I've got one in my rockfish tank.
Well, hopefully there's no others in there so I can't reproduce. Maybe it's just one random.
I don't know.
I don't know where they come from. It's like, I swear to God, the eggs just go to, sit somewhere, and anyway, got me distracted. But anyway, like, subscribe, share, comment. If you have any questions or any comments, we would love to hear about this because algae blooms are a very common problem. Yeah. So we are kind of curious what other people do and what issues that they've had. And I'd love to hear about it if you had one of the, what do they call it? The
green water.
Green water. That's kind of cool. I would actually. I don't want it. Yeah. I don't want it, but I would like to know if you had it. Somebody else needs to have it.
Yeah, it's kind of like syphilis. We don't want it.
We don't want it, but we want to know the details. Yeah. Give us the deets in the comments. I'm going to hell. But anyway, we still have the stores. We still do want to do koi rana. We still want to. I don't want to swim with the sharks, so no problem if you don't get more likes.
You got lucky. We didn't get 1,000 subscribers.
Thank you,
by
God.
the end of the year, so you got lucky.
So, but yeah, I don't mind that. So I don't have to swim with the sharks. I probably will swim with the sharks anyway when it warms up. But I would like to not. Maybe I don't think she can let me out of it, regardless. But I would
eventually you're going to do it. Eventually, I just don't know when. It could be a couple years from now. It could be next week. We don't know.
We are still going to try to do different field trips and stuff once it warms back up. Right now we're in the rainy season, the cold season, so we're not really going out and doing much.
We don't know if it's going to be hot or cold.
Right. I went from like 40 one day to it was like 75 or 76 today and rainy, but. Yeah. So we don't know temperature wise, but we're gonna try to do some stuff and get some. We still got to go to the aquarium, the Daytona Aquarium. That's one of the things we got to do. But we're going to do all that, and we're going to share it with you because you need to know the crazy that we are.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Have a good one.